Welcome to We Hug Wednesday. Lori Graham back with you again. Where are you, God? Well, the answer to that question in my life is that He walks with me. God has walked with me a long time, and there have been many times I've said the words, "Where are you, God?" The first time I can remember really feeling the presence of God was around the age of 7 or 8. And I remember I was walking to Sunday school. The elementary school I went to was behind my house. And I would walk to Sunday school, rain, shine, snow, whatever. I would just go on Sundays. And I remember at that time in my little 7 or 8-year-old body, I was very stressed and fearful. And the reason for that was because I was being molested and I was afraid to tell my family and I didn't understand what was going on with my body. And so I was going to church and I just remember this peace that surpasses understanding coming over me and just having this feeling that God was going to take care of it. And so since that time until now, I'm 43 years old, I have realized that God has been with me all of that time. And two things remain. He's always with me and He always makes a way. So I just kind of wanted to go through and encourage you a little bit today. God walked with me when I was in my crazy teens and decided I knew better than everybody else in the world and I ran away. And He didn't judge me or discipline me, but what He did do is He gave me peace and He whispered to me, "I am with you, I will make a way." And He gave me the courage to actually go back home. Thank God, because I don't know where I would be today if I hadn't gone back home. God walked with me when I was 18 and I found out that I was pregnant. And He ever so gently reminded me that children are a gift from God, and that gave me peace. God was with me when I walked across the Las Vegas desert in the middle of summer, full of fear to tell the man that I was dating that I was pregnant. And God, He walked with me in that mile walk from where I had to go to my home through the desert when that man rejected me. I was fearful and hopeless. And I remember God whispering to me so clearly that He is with me and He's going to make a way. And I remember my feet, I was wearing sandals and it was dusty and there was tumbleweeds and there was thorns. But I remember walking home crying. There's probably dust in my tears and definitely dust in my teeth, but I had this weird hope come across me that He would make a way, that He was with me, that no matter what the world was saying, no matter what that guy was saying, that He was going to make a way and that He was with me. God stood with me and beside me a few years later when again another choice I made, but where I found myself in an abusive relationship, held against my will for 3 years, in a relationship with a gang member who was addicted to drugs. God said, "Stand here, I am with you and I am making a way for you." And so how many of you know that in the supernatural, God is constantly making a way for us, a route. He knows which direction we're going to take. He knows the choices, good, bad, or ugly, that we're going to make. And He is constantly making a way for us in the supernatural. And eventually it will collide with the natural. And that's what God did for me in that situation. He said, "Stand, I am with you. I did not forsake you. I am making a way for you." And God walked with me as I was reunited with my family and my relationship with my son was restored and with my parents was restored. And you know what? God kept walking with me as my spirit was restored after being held against my will for 3 years. And God, He walked with me in my darkest time when I lost my mother, my rock. When I felt fearful for the future and not knowing how am I going to raise my son by myself. I need my mom in my life. I don't know what else to do with my life besides my son and my mom. And God said, "I am with you and I will make a way." And God walked with me when I met my husband, when I rejoiced in that promise that he made a few years before that, when he told me, I am with you. I will make a way. God has walked with me in and out of friendships, of jobs, and he has always whispered, I am with you, Lori, and I will make a way. God walked with me when our son decided to join the Marines, and I was full of fear that I could no longer protect my son or the situations he may find himself in. And God told me, Lori, I am with you. I will make a way for you. Don't you worry. Isaiah 43 says, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name, and you are mine. And Lori, in this instance, in this situation, I have called your son by name, and I am with him, and I will make a way for him. And God walked with me, and God walked with him for the next 4 years, protecting and giving peace and protection over him and over my family as we walked that journey. God walked with me when he came home after 4 years and set him on a path in his new purpose and in his new journey and in his new path. God is walking with him today. God walked with him then. God walks with me, and God walks with you. I cannot stress that enough. He never leaves you. He never forsakes you. He created you. He redeemed you, and he called you. He spoke you into life when he called your name. When your parents gave you the name, when your mom found out that she was carrying you, that was him speaking you into existence. God walks with you in your mess, and he walks with you in your bliss. You cannot outrun God. You cannot run away from God. So why not turn and run to God? He never gets tired of us. His arms are always open for us. He loves us endlessly and eternally. He wants the best for us. And although he allows us to make our own decisions in life, he is constantly in the supernatural making a way for us to get to our purpose and our reasoning for being on this earth. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not unloved. You are loved. You are lovable. You have value. You have purpose. You are wanted here on earth. And you have a Savior, a God of this universe, who not only has gone before you and is behind you, but is on both sides of you, walking alongside of you, and he is making a way for you. I love what this says in Isaiah 43. It says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flames scorch you. I don't know what you're going through today, friend. But what I do know, that no matter what path you have to take in life, God says he will be with you. I don't know. It says here, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. Are you overwhelmed today? Focus on God. Run to God. Allow him to even the things out, because with God, he will not allow you to be overwhelmed. He will not allow those rivers to overflow you. Are you in the thick of a situation that you feel like you can't get yourself out of? I have been there many times. And although I put myself in that situation that is not ideal, that is not honoring to God, to myself, to my family, to my friends, God has made sure that in that moment, I am not scorched from the fire, from the flame that even I started. He is with me, and he is making a way for me. Are you hopeless? He is making a way. And then in Isaiah 43:19, it says, behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're in a place in your life and you feel overwhelmed, forgotten, hopeless, just worthless, he is making a way in that wilderness for you. So don't give up. Run, walk, whatever you have to do. If you have to crawl because you don't have the energy, go to God. He is there with you. He has called you by name, and he has a plan and purpose for your life. He walks with you. Don't you ever forget that. That's it for today, guys. ladies, I should say. And as always, head up gorgeous. God's got you, and so do I.